All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston count. Once again, the Wadi Al Bashim Al Shai, for giving us another opportunity to bring forth, information. I'm a brother Korah Abad, and as always, we got the beloved Elder Tazapah as well. And another week, which is a lot going on in the world, whether it's major prophecies or minor prophecies, so to speak. Esau called the prophets, major and minor prophets. Well, some certain prophecies are, I won't say more important than others, but gonna have a greater impact on world events than others. You see, gonna be a bigger part of the prophet's message than other parts of the prophecies. But nevertheless, everything that the apostles, elders, and brothers may touch on throughout the week at camp, everything will add up to these things being fulfilled. Man, nothing is not important. And man, for the past couple of weeks, gotta quote it, ain't gonna get it, but it says in Sirach, be not ignorant of anything, whether it's small or great. Small or great. But we got a couple of things we'll touch on, a lot of various topics in this one, which are the same things in the news, what's going on over there in Israel. You also got this other event with Taiwan and China that's ramping up. The other Tazapah sent me some information on that yesterday, I believe. But over there in China, you got every country still moving towards a CBDC, a digital society. But so a lot of things are happening, man. As I saying, Habakkuk at the end of the show, speaking not lie. I'll read this real quick. The brother BA posted it. And you got it, Elder Tazapah. And Shalom Teni Akim, all the Akim Akwathu may be tuning in, Yahweh Shemel Shabrak Thumb. But this is the book of Sirach, chapter 5, and verse 15. It says, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. But the floor is yours, Zaquan. You got it.
No. What the next verse say?
Let's see. I'll pull it up. Matter of fact, let me share my screen. Here we go. Sirach 5. It's Sirach chapter 5. Oh, that's the end of the verse. Chapter.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can hit it again. You can hit it one more time, brother.
Sirach chapter 5 and verse 15.
Okay. Go ahead.
It says, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small.
All right, fine. So, I mean, yeah, as the prophets, we can't afford to be ignorant on any level as it pertains to whatever. So, the job of the prophet is to know. We're in the business of knowing. All right. And it's through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. It ain't through any effort of, efforts of our own. Although we have to, we have to do a certain, we have to put in our work, but all praise and glory goes to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, because if it was not for him, we'd be lost in that world, that congregation of the dead, sleep, like a lot of people in the world. You see? But, hey, through the blessing of the Holy Spirit, the Heavenly Father gave us, insight on these end time events. There's a lot going on. There's so much that you can get overwhelmed. But this is why it's a body. This is those who have the truth make up the body of Yahweh Shai. So Great Millstone as a whole, as the church, the collective, we're gonna give you 100% truth as it pertains to all things. So yeah, go ahead, brother.
God, that's right. So with that, we can hop straight into it. Like I said, there's a lot of various topics in this one, which everything tied together. You know, all these things, whether it was prophesied like Yahushua in Matthew 24, he gave a couple of them together, earthquakes in diverse places and famines and uproars of the people. You know, all whether one of the prophets said it here or there, but all these things are happening is the point. So this first one is from shtfplan.com. And this was put out a couple of days ago, but May 31st, 2024. It says Western rumblings, California and Nevada experienced more than 1,000 earthquakes in a single week. Now, the thing with this is that a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, the same thing happened. And I believe we touched on it on one of these Thursday lives, if I'm not mistaken. But the same thing happened a couple months ago. I know it was in 2024, but the same thing happened. But this is a part of prophecy. Again, Yahushua said it. Let me see. Well, I guess Second Ezra 9. This Second Ezra 9 and verse 1. Now, this the prophet Ezra having a conversation with the Lord, or with an angel. And Ezra wanted to know the specific time. You know, he asked in 2nd Ezra 8, he asked the angel, he said, look, you showed me everything that's going to happen in the latter days, but exactly at what time? And this is what the Lord told him, 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, let me make sure the screen big so y'all can see it. All right, it says 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So he told Ezra, look, I ain't gonna give the exact time, but look, when you see all these things happening that you've seen in these visions and dreams, know that's the time of visiting the world. And the first sign was, verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, shtfplan.com, May 31st, 2024, Western rumblings, California, Nevada experienced more than 1,000 earthquakes in a single week. And why that's a big deal, this happened a couple months ago or weeks ago, close to 1,000 earthquakes. And on the West Coast, that's where they got a lot of those, volcanoes, what they got over there, the Yellowstone Park, the volcano over there, I forget what it's called. They always talking about tectonic plates and shifting. So ain't no telling what the Lord could do with the West Coast and what he doing with these earthquakes. But the thing is, it was prophesied about it. So again, real quick, it says 2nd Ezra 9 and 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And I read 5:2. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and the end is manifest. So when we start seeing these things, it should be clear that we're at the end of the world. I'll read a little bit of it. You got some Elder Tazapar?
No, you good, brother.
I'll read a little bit and we can move on. It says, last week, the Los Angeles Times reported that 2 sets of earthquake swarms just hit California, and that's another thing that's been going on. Matter of fact, let's move this one since we're on the weather. Let's move this one up to the beginning of the list. But these weather patterns that's been happening all across America is irregular, if that's the word, but these patterns have not been normal. It's been getting cold when it ain't supposed to be cold, hot when it ain't supposed to be hot. A storm will come through, winds 100 miles an hour, just from Houston, for example, tornadoes passing through, and 30 minutes later, the sun out. 40 minutes later, the sun out. But earthquake, they saying that not earthquake, but hurricane season that all of these hurricanes supposed to be around 23 something, I believe, and like around 7 could be category 3 on up. And what they saying is that all these hurricanes are gonna come out of nowhere. Now, usually they're able to detect them ahead of time, warn people, give people time to evacuate. But now they're saying these earthquakes, they go come out of nowhere. So a lot of these, as they will say, natural disasters been happening out of nowhere. But look, these things are prophesied. So it says last week, the Los Angeles Times reported that 2 sets of earthquake swarms just hit California. It turns out that these swarms, together with some in nearby Nevada, produced an astounding 1,000 earthquakes between the 2 states. To me, whenever that number goes about to 1,000, we are officially in the danger zone. You see? So that's where it's at right now. Let me see. Right, it says, that's pretty much it. They hoping that no large earthquake gonna come to California, but if the Lord got to prophesy, who knows where he gonna go with that? Now, speaking of at Mother Nature, as they will call it, which we notice the works of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. End time headlines. This was put out a couple of days ago, I believe, and it says tornado strikes Michigan without warning. See, these things been happening without warning. That's 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. That they go come without warning to these people, man. In Houston, the situation again, to bring it up, because we was out here without warning. Matter of fact, we was on the Thursday live and it just came out of nowhere. The other times apart, lights went off and everything out of nowhere, man. Granted, the Lord had, brothers out here straight, he was straight, we were straight. But a lot of people, houses gone was without power, without warning. It says, killing. You got it.
No, you good, brother.
Kind of says, tornado strikes Michigan without warning, killing Tyler, while Twister in Maryland injures 5. And the Lord just beginning. We'll read a little bit of it. A Tyler was killed and his mother was injured when a tornado struck suburban Detroit without warning, while 5 people were injured when a tornado in Maryland collapsed structures and trapped people inside. It says officials in Livonia, Michigan said the tornado tore through several neighborhoods on Wednesday afternoon, check this out, and developed so quickly that there was no advance notice from the National Weather Service. So even the government, they couldn't even warn them quick enough. It came out of nowhere. It says, and developed so quickly that there was no advance notice from the National Weather Service or others that would have normally led to the activation of warning signs. Got a quick pre-sale. It's First Thessalonians chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at 1. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. This is Apostle Paul speaking to the church. Tell them, look, the times and the seasons, I ain't gotta tell y'all what time it is, because y'all know what time it is. It says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Sudden destruction. That's the point. They don't know what time. If Apostle Paul saying, look, y'all know what time it is, but to them sudden destruction go come, which meaning these people, they not measuring the times, they not being circumspect, like Ephesians the 5th chapter say. So when these things happen, they go get caught off guard.
Right.
If they don't get the Amber Alert or hear it on, see the Shade Room posted on Instagram on what's going on, they ain't gonna know. You gotta know.
Yeah, they're gonna be clueless.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because of what you read, being ignorant of these matters. Because a lot of people just turning a blind eye, especially these women. These women are suffering from anxiety. Especially a lot of these Jake women. because of go to that verse, brother. I can't call it right now, but the Lord said, shoot. He said, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. So some of these women are having dreams, and you know, they want to turn a blind eye because they don't want it to be true. And they're going into anxiety because of what, you know, I guess you could say what the Lord is showing them, whether it could be by dream or they coming across our videos or certain news articles that they're seeing, and they just don't want to acknowledge it, you know. But you can read that, brother, and I got some verses to go with you.
Con. This Acts chapter 2 and verse 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on
Go ahead, brother.
it says, and on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out my spirit in those days. So like I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy.
Yeah, so certain people are seeing, and when they say that they should prophesy, it's not necessarily saying they're gonna go out and set up a camp on the highways and byways and start speaking. No, it's just that they'll tell somebody, I had a dream that this dollar, or the economy is about to crash, or I had a dream that I saw missiles hitting America. And just by them saying that, they're prophesying, because to prophesy simply means to say before. Okay. It might be a brother's wife. A brother have a family member that'll come to him and say something, and then that brother bring it out, might do a lesson about it. But we in that time, and people are seeing things, and they're trying to sweep it under the rugs. Not all of them, but some of them, because what's coming, it is terrible. But going back to that article, all these sudden storms, instant storms, that's Esau all day long. That's not natural. All right. Who gave you an instant society? Esau. Who gave you niggas microwaves? Esau. Instant grits. Well, they say that was Aunt Jemima came up with the instant pancake mix. But Esau got everybody living in an instant world. So these storms that's his signature. A pop-up tornado. And tornadoes can happen quickly, but it's a lead up to it. And what I want to read, I want to go to Psalm 17. And this is Psalm 17, verse 13. It says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right. And that word sword in the Hebrew is chara, which it goes back to the Strong's number H2719, chara. And then it goes into a sword, knife, a tool for cutting stone. Now, when you go to the root, Strong's H2717, which is also chara. But when you go to the outline of biblical usage on the root, it says to be waste, to lay waste. Now, when the brother showed the picture of that, the devastation of that that earthquake, it laid that place way right there. That's a laying waste.
And yeah, I'm not sure if that's like an actual real picture or if that's like some AI picture, you know?
Yeah,
Not
you're right. It could be, but I can give you a first-hand account from here. All right, it's still piles of trees up and down the road here.
mm-hmm.
Certain people's houses were laid waste. Cars, just from fallen trees falling on houses, trees falling on vehicles, but it was a laying waste. And that's what Esau does. That's the Most High set him up for this. All right. This is his crescendo. It's the Most High's crescendo, but he's using Esau. And the climactic throwdown, if you will, is about to happen between Esau and Jacob with the Lord. All right. The Lord will be leading Jacob. So again, you have to understand, going back to Psalm 17 and 13, arise, O Lord, disappoint him. And wait till you see how this hurricane season gonna hit. It's gonna hit different, like the young Jake say. Because you went into that, 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, instant hurricanes.
Yep.
Ready-made hurricanes, just ready to go. And this the Most High using Esau, his sword, just like King David said. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. The wicked, Esau, Edom, is the Most High sword. His left hand, his sinister sword. See, the Most High has a holy sword. That's Yahweh shot. And then us. And then he has a sinister sword. Sinister means left-handed. That's Esau, Edom, Satan. All right. So, yeah, King David is saying, disappoint him. Stop this devil. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right. And going back to Harab, again, outline the biblical usage to be waste, lay waste, make desolate. And that's what Esau was doing through his weather satellites, along with HARP. He has his DEW, directed energy weapons. He's gonna pull out the sound weapons. I think he's already using them to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain thing. Check out targeted individuals, TIs. There's a thing as target individuals. And then they can have these cameras and satellites tracking you using sound, and they could target and use that sound as a weapon to do all kind of stuff, from making you ill, give you headaches, make you feel sick, to making you drop dead, giving you have people thinking you died of a heart attack. Because everything is frequency. All right. Our hearts beat to a frequency, and all anyone have to do is disrupt that frequency and interrupt your heartbeat, and bam, heart attack. So it's a lot going on. Like the brother read, be not ignorant of any matter, whether small or how it go out, great or small. Okay. Let me see. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can go check it out. It goes into make desolate, for Harab, to be dry, be dried up. Because ultimately that's what the missile's gonna do, dry this place out. That's Most High gonna do that through Esau. He used Esau to create these ICBMs and other nuclear arsenal that exists. Yeah. Okay, to attack, smite down, slay, fight. But the point is that America and a lot of the rest of the world is being made desolate, is being laid waste. All right, because this is the time of judgment. Now I'm going to go here also to Romans 13, verse 1. It says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. And I just read that. Matter of fact, I jumped the gun, Salakia. I jumped the gun. Let's go back to Psalm 17 and 14. All right. Psalm 17 and 14 says, from men which are thy hand, all right, the wicked, these men are the Most High's hand. O Lord, from men of the world which have their portion in this life. All right, remember what Job 20 said? When he is in the fullness of his sufficiency. Yeah, if you want to pull up that Quran, since you got it up. But right, he's in the fullness of his sufficiency, meaning he has it all. Right, they have their portion in this world. All right.
Which one was it?
Okay, Psalm 17 and 13, when you go to sword, and you can show that word harab.
Kind is H 27:19 harab.
Yep. You ain't got to go to that. Hit the root. Go to the root of it. And then you'll see, and the audience can see what I was speaking about. So you got it right there firsthand. To be waste, lay waste. What has Esau done? He is the border of wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
He's laid waste to the entire world. You can't get you hard pressed to find a watermelon with seeds. And then we out here in the country. Any food, just like Apostle brought out, they putting that Myrna platform in the food now. He's laying everything to waste. So again, Psalm 17 and 14, from men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. And that's why there is no bands in their death, because they understand reincarnation and they keep it in the family. All right. All the GMO bullshit right there. The brother showing you.
Yeah, this that A pill. This that
Yeah, then you got that now.
Kind of so what it is. So it's a Bill Gates backed science experiment or startup. So here it is. Quick things. So this from 2018. I'm gonna just read the headline from CNBC. It says this Bill Gates backed startup is fighting world hunger by making your avocado, and it's just avocados, but it's pretty much all fruit. So when Akim Aqua, go to the stores, it's this brand called Apeel, APEEL, APEEL. So when you see that label on there, I don't get that. That's Bill Gates' little stuff. Apeel, APEEL. But the point is it's BS. It goes along with them wanting the Americans to eat fake food and fruit and crickets and all that. So, but you got as a Kwanzaa.
Yep. Which this food is banned worldwide. And nobody accepting, the certain brands of food that they push here in America. These other countries, especially in Europe and countries, you know, over that way, Russia, they don't allow a lot of American imports. But going back to Romans 13, verse 1, it says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. As I just read, you saw for yourself, even the wicked are in power because the Most High put them in power. All right. And they're in power for a reason, because we went off. That's why the Most High got us under this devil. That's why the Most High got this man putting his foot on our necks. But that's soon to be changed. Those days are almost done. All right. Israel is rising up and rising up in the strength and might of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. And not all, Jake, are remnant, a small sanctuary. And they ain't going all over the world. They standing up where they at and they're preaching the truth. That's all it takes. Stand up where you are at and preach the truth. Quit kowtowing to these low-life devils. Their time is done. It's our time. If you don't see it or you don't want to see it, then carry your ass on.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see it, you got the balls to stand as a man, preach the gospel. And I'm speaking to the men of Israel. I ain't talking to all you heathens. I'm talking about predominantly the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today. So as the scriptures say, the powers that be are ordained of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. It says, verse 2, whosoever therefore resisted the power, resisted the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. But here's the point, verse 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works. So, you know, you can eat an apple with a peel, depending on what level you on. Because you know what? You can pray on faith. The Lord, why do you think the Lord said, if you just have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move here, or you know, these are just small, these ain't even mountains. You know, and I'm saying if push come to shove, I'm not saying go out and buy that shit. But I'm saying if you find yourself, you ain't got nothing to eat but this apple and it got that sticker on it, man, you better pray on that apple and eat.
Mm-hmm.
Or you dying of thirst. You don't want to drink no city water. Man, you better pray over that water. Man, Baruch said the just shall live by his faith. That's how we gonna live. Not by our knowledge or what the information that we have. Oh, well, I know this got a pill, so I ain't gonna. No, you gonna live by faith. Or you gonna die from a lack thereof. So again, Romans 13:3, for rulers are not a terror to good works. Meaning, if you're doing right by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, you ain't got nothing to fear from a heart, from a mRNA, and I'm talking about mRNA, from a GMO, from none of his shit. Because he's the Most High's left hand. So if you good with the Most High, he ain't gonna strike you with his left hand.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna protect you and cover you with his right hand. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. You two-thirds stiff-necked, bubble-headed, hard-headed niggas and niggettes. Y'all the ones who should be fearing. All right? But to the evil, wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right? Yeah. It says, do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. So all this shit that's coming down the pike ain't for the elect or the just. It's for the unjust. It's for the wicked. It's for those that do evil. Okay? So you got it, brother.
Nah, that's it. That's it. I got a quick on the back of what you were saying, and I even thought of when Moses. Remember, we came out of Egypt, and that water it was bitter. And Moses went to
Oh
the
man,
Lord.
there you go.
He made it
There you
clean.
go out. That's right.
You know,
The Most High give you knowledge to, the Spirit will have you do something to neutralize. Like, go ahead, brother, come.
Nah. It's real quick. Even Yahushua, he said it. Mark 16 and verse 18, and they shall take up serpents, and if they drink anything deadly, it shall not hurt them. So
Ain't gonna hurt.
that's and look, Yahushua said it. And food, so food, the same thing. It says, and they shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. But as the elder was saying, there's more than enough examples to showing the times we coming and the Lord gonna get us through that. And like you said, those things coming for the wicked. Right. I believe he said in Sirach, if a brother know where that's at, in Sirach, that all these things were created for the wicked, and so came the flood. I might be getting two precepts mixed up, but that's why Jacob's trouble gonna come. That's why the fire gonna come. These things for the wicked, but yeah, we gonna have to be here. We hoping Yahushua prayer covers us in John 17 when he says, not that he take us from the world, but keep us from all the evil that's coming, man. But now that's pretty much it. We can have
brother, you pop.
You had nothing else.
No, you good, brother.
All right, so that's the first two, the weather that's been going on. And let me see. And brother got it. Kind of Shalom Tala Akim Aqua that's tuning in. Yahweh Bashim Al Shah Brakatham. See the other Yahshawam, Yahweh Bashim Al Shah Brakatah. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom Zaquan. You know that I got my apocryphal concordance. Is that how it kind of paraphrase it again?
It says this was created for the wicked.
Created for the wicked. Okay.
But let me see. All right, yep. Hey, the water out by Shemal Shah. I got it right here.
Okay.
It's, you can speak on it if you want. This is Sirach, chapter 40 and verse. I'm gonna start at 9. 8. It says, such things happen unto all flesh, which when you go up, it's talking about death. It says both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. Verse 9, death and bloodshed, strife, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood.
Yeah, that's right on time, brother. You don't even. That's self-explanatory. Yeah, the Most High ain't coming to punish the elect. All you have to do is read Lamentations 4. The punishment of thine iniquity, O daughter of Israel, is accomplished. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you got it, brother.
So we'll move on. So the next thing, as you mentioned earlier, we about to get out of here. Just as in the time of Egypt, but every time we have a salvation on the other side, the Lord bringing what? Plagues, destruction. But what was one of the plagues that came in Egypt? The Lord sent locusts. Locusts. Throughout the Bible, the Lord used insects and locusts and many different other ways to send a plague. Well, now you have this from End Time Headlines a couple of days ago. It says giant venomous flying spiders set to spread across the East Coast. And he's talking about this upcoming summer. Now I looked it up because I was like, let me fact check it. Now I'm gonna just go to Google, type it in, and it's valid. Everybody posting on it. You see, 2 hours ago, USA Today. 1 day ago, Fox Weather. 1 day ago, ABC News. Right? National Geographic 5 hours ago. USA Today. Let's hit the USA Today 2 hours ago. It says Euro spiders, giant venomous flying arachnids are here to stay, pest experts say. So, you know, and I'm thinking of 2 Esdras 15, the Lord said, I'm going to bring plagues on Egypt as before, which it might not be the same specific events take place. You know, all the water in America might not turn into blood, but it's going to be things that's happening likened unto Egypt, though. Something might happen to the water. Other ties of power we touched on last week through the Spirit, that the water systems might be cut off and hacked. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
But what was one of those things?
It's like a nationwide, like, yeah, I guess you could say nationwide, like ball notice, or you know, for certain states at least. So, you know, and the water been jacked up, but come on, brother.
And we ain't gonna read the whole thing. I'm gonna just throw this in the chat, but it's just something to mention. I read a little bit of it. It says giant venomous flying spiders with 4-inch legs are real, and they're going to potentially invade the New York area sometime this year, according to the New Jersey Pest Control. Euro spiders are coming to the Northeast after initially infiltrating the southeastern U.S. from Japan. The pest, everything be coming from China, Japan. It says from Japan, it says the Pest Control Service said in a news release earlier this year. And Georgia served as the ground zero for the arachnids in 2021 as residents saw the spiders in urban and rural areas, right? According to Georgia's public FM radio station. Right. But you know, it goes into it. And they said close to summer. You know, I'll post that in the chat, you know. But again, the Lord said plagues on Egypt as before, so it may be multiple things. And Sirach the 36th chapter says new plagues gonna come, new signs and new wonders. So ain't no telling what it might be a little deal, might affect a couple people, or it might turn into a big issue. Who knows? But we'll move on. You got some Elder Tazapah before we do?
No, you good. All
right, Con, I'm gonna throw that in the chat too. Now, speaking of animals, this is another thing that's been continuing for the past couple of years. You've been having meat factories, certain farms, chicken farms that's been blowing up and catching on fire. Multiple hundreds. You see, just blowing up and catching on fire, which this is not no coincidence, you know. And these are man-made or engineered famines that's coming, whether it's by the man that's doing it or the Most High just using man. Nevertheless, this is a part of prophecy as well. Famines are coming. Famines are coming. Now, some people may take this as a little deal or it's just one that blew up, but add that on to the multiple that's been happening. How farmers already been complaining that they've been having to euthanize, which is put to death certain of their cattle and chickens, man. So this is gonna add on to the problems that's coming. Oh, you've been having those ships those cargo ships that's been stuck over there in the Red Sea. Also with those shipping containers that's hitting bridges. And we can't forget this new sickness that's coming. That's going just like CV delay the supply chain. So a lot of things happening behind the scenes, whether we see it on mainstream media or not. You know, you was about to say something.
Come on, brother. No, you good.
Con. So moving on to the next thing. And again, today we got like a lot of various topics. We ain't had no videos, you know. I know Jay be liking them videos, but we won't have no videos today. Just kind of like a lot of little various topics that's going on. But the next one.
Hey, shout out to the apostles again, and Apostle Rumlaw. You know, he did a video today about America crumbling, or you know, the video that he played of Clayton Morrison.
Morris.
Yeah, so it's like I say, man, it's a lot of people seeing the destruction coming. Some are in denial, and like these Edomites, they prepping. But there's no way to prep for what's coming. Besides, I mean, unless you of the elect, that's the only prepping you could do for what's coming. Is you the elect, get your ass on the highways, or if you are the hopeful elect, if you think you are hoping to be the elect, get your ass out on the highways and byways and preach the truth. That's how you prepare for this. Saving up gold, or getting your money out the bank, buying gold. Man, that shit ain't gonna help your ass. That shit is not gonna help your ass. It may help the prophets, but for all you other people, that shit gonna get you killed. Go ahead, brother.
Con, I just put that video too of the Apostle Ramlab when he did this yesterday, and what it was going into redacted, as the elder was just saying. The situation with Russia, NATO, the CBDC, so on and so forth. So I posted that in the chat so y'all can check that out. The Apostle, kind of touched on it, not kind of, but he touched on it. So that's in the chat too, and I'm gonna throw everything in the chat as well, close to the end of the lesson. So continuing on, speaking of chicken farm on fire, the World Health Organization just reported that the first human to die from being infected with the H5N2 variant of the bird flu just happened. Issacharai. Now why this? They say it's a big deal. Now, remember, they've been saying this is going to be COVID, CV 2.0, CV 2.0. And usually this is just from, animal to animal, but now it's from animal to human. And now the first person that got it just died from it. Now they could make a big deal out of this. Shut the world down once again. Right, I'll read a little bit of it. You got it?
Go ahead.
Kind of just real quick, it says the World Health Organization said Wednesday a person in Mexico has died in the first confirmed human case globally of the infection with the H5N2 variant of the bird flu. Right? You say he had multiple conditions. He died on April 24th, 59 years old. Right, 59 years old. So hey, keep our eyes open for that. We'll see, if they make this another issue like the CV issue was made. And speaking of diseases, you got a new disease. I don't think they gave a name for it, but this for the rainbow flag supporters. It's for them. This and we in June. We in June.
Yeah, that's right.
And see, the Lord looked and blessed them with a new disease in June. And it's the 6th. So it says, end time headlines, a new sexually transmitted fungal infection detected in New York City becomes the first in the U.S. Now, again, this actual news too. Let me see. I ain't gonna really read into it. Let's read a little bit of this. It says health experts are warning of new and highly contagious fungal strains. And you know why this is bad? Because this is for the rainbow flag supporters, but in America, they going from each other. They don't know who with who. So this, imagine if this thing becomes something for real. Imagine how that's going to spread here in America.
Right.
Men undercover and going back home, and come on, man.
Yeah, what's going to make it such a, I guess, what's going to make it so deadly is just like Apostle Tahar was speaking about. Through the juice, a lot of people now, and probably unbeknownst to them, are suffering from AIDS. And all that is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. A lot of people's immune system ain't up to par. And that was even before the juice was introduced. But now, so something like that, a fungal infection, anything, a Bizarre Flizzle could just run through, ravish America, because the people's immune systems have been compromised. So yeah, we in deep waters here, and the prophet's the only one with the life jackets and the little donuts. Go ahead, brother.
Con, I'll read a little bit and I got a precept. So it says health experts are warning of new and highly contagious fungal strains after a New York City man in his 30s developed a sexually transmitted form of ringworm, the first reported case in the U.S. It says,
yeah, that's it, bro. No more. Damn these women, bro.
Now we see Apostle Paul. His advice says people don't
think
he's
coming in, man. God, man.
You know, since men
go ahead, brother.
Now, you know, men, so like, you know, men don't think Paul, his words are the word of God, but we see his advice about women, we see now is gonna make a lot of sense.
Yes,
Matter of fact, I'll read a little bit. It says Kaplan co-authored a case study published Wednesday about an unidentified New Yorker who became infected with TMV2 with a rash appearing on his private part, buttocks, and limbs. It says cases of TMV2 have been on the rise in Europe, and we know how Esau get down over there in Europe, have been on a rise in Europe, and especially in men who have sexual relations with other men. So these things are hitting them people. You got it. You was about to say something?
Hey, no, did you see the article where the pilot got full-blown HIV? He looking for it say the article say an African woman to marry.
Oh man.
Did you see that one?
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, so they be getting this shit, doing that little freaky shit, and then they come get with the black woman, and she thinking this motherfucker is you know, heaven sent. Oh, I mean, thinking she done got something, and then yeah, she done got something.
I got a quick precept. I read this one little part. It says the man in the new case study have visited England, Greece, and California, and he reported having sex with men during his travels, none of whom disclosed similar skin issues. So we'll see where that go. Now again, the effects from the CV jab, that ain't gonna be the only sickness or new demic that's gonna happen. It's gonna be multiple, man. Multiple things gonna happen. Esau reporting on how to survive zombie apocalypse. Who knows the next one? Well, Elder Taza Power. Remember what Bill Gates and his wife, or his ex-wife now, said, yeah, you know, CV did what it was supposed to do, but this next one really gonna get their attention. And they started smiling with that devilish smirk.
Yeah.
Man, they talking about the deer disease. You got the H5N2, the bird flu. You got effects from the juice. The Lord gonna have, look, I'm sure sexual diseases, as we're reading about, that's gonna run rampant, especially the sexual activity that's going in America. But let me get this real quick. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18 in the GNT. It says, troubles will come, and many people will groan. Famine will come, and many will die. Wars will come, and the world powers will tremble. Disasters will come, and everyone will be terrified. And what will people do when these disasters come? Now, he gonna name some. It says the first one, famine. This is the one I'm looking for. And epidemics. Let's see what that means. Famine and epidemics. So that's one of the signs of the end of the world, or Jacob's trouble, the times we in. Quick Google definition. I might hit the Edamon online. It says an outbreak of disease that spreads quickly and affects many individuals at the same time. Let's see if we got a better one.
Yep.
Hit that. I'm gonna hit that etymology real quick, see if they got something better, and then we can move on. Or you know, got something. It says epidemic. So like I was just looking. So I'm gonna get the noun. It says in 1757, an epidemic, a disease, a temporary prevalence of a disease throughout a community. And we seeing what the rainbow flag community, they being addressed right now. It says it's common to affecting a whole people, right? And that's pretty much it. But the point is, sickness is gonna come, man. Infection's gonna come. I read one earlier.
Yep.
On my phone.
Especially among that community.
Uh-huh.
They like thumbing the nose at the Most High. They ain't just doing it, but they saying they doing it with pride.
Mm-hmm. The community. Speaking of community, hey, that's what IUIC pushing for the Israelite community. Look, the Lord, he plaguing communities, man. The Lord only gonna spare his elect in these times. But I'll finish this and we can move on. 2nd Ezra 16 and 19 in the GNT. This the signs. Famine and epidemics, troubles and suffering are sent to punish and correct people. So that's why a lot of these things gonna happen. You got something else? Elder Tazapar?
Nah, go ahead.
Let me see if everybody had anything on the comment board. All right, Khan. So we're gonna move on to this, and again, it's just various topics. This another thing that's been going on. It's not just Boston as we about to read, but a lot of these things gonna be gradual until a major event come to where they can put it in effect easily throughout, I'm sure, each state. Now, I think it was New Jersey we touched on a couple of weeks ago how they said they was going to stop answering calls around a certain time, the police, because they had a lack of staff, you know, and also for certain crimes they wasn't going to come out. And in California, the same thing been happening, but now you have it in Boston. And also we've been saying that's been going on across America is how a lot of these stores, man, I had an article, but I ain't got it up. A lot of these stores have been hit by robbery and they ain't chasing them. They're just running off. Therefore, a lot of these big box stores as well, they're losing a lot of profit and they just closing. They're just closing up.
Mm-hmm.
But the citizens seeing that they being lenient on certain crimes, that's going to put it in their mind to start doing these things. Why? Because of the suffering. Because of the people going to start suffering more. Therefore, they seeing the government don't care about robbery at this time. Well, I'm going to go rob. And we seeing it already. And we're going to read this real quick. But look, that energy being pushed out, whether people know it or not, the Lord pushing that energy out is end time prophecy. Matthew 24, we might get that. The Lord said the love of many gonna wax cold. We're in that time. Right? You got it.
No, go ahead.
This from Natural News. Now this was put out yesterday, the 5th. It says progressive Boston mayor pushing for decriminalization of criminal offenses like shoplifting trespassing, and destruction of property. Another thing that's been going on, those squatters. More rules are being made for squatters to take over homes than the homeowner themselves. People the homeowners being taken to jail or being told, look, we can't do nothing, and squatters in their house. You having the immigrants coming over here. You got a Chicago Jake mad right now because the Northern Kingdom coming in and getting benefits over them.
Yeah, ain't they getting free or they giving them apartments with no rent.
Mm-hmm. On top of getting a couple thousand every month.
While tax-paying Americans is getting evicted because they can't afford this runaway rent. $1,500, $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month. And then people can just come over here and get free rent. People should be up in arms, man. There should be people in the street, if you don't know the truth. But they just go to show, man, Esau done a job on you people here in America, man. He did. You men are totally ballless here in America. Because there's no way you should be standing for this. You done been bled dry by this goddamn system, and then they evict you, but they can give free rent to strangers. Yeah. See, I'm just patiently waiting. I got to follow orders as a good soldier. But best believe, I'm itching to get it in.
I get this real quick. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get what Yahweh Shai said. This because it's a spirit that the Lord put in the earth in. People tired of suffering. This Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity, which iniquity is in other words, lawlessness, going off, breaking the law. And that's what we see in a lot of lawlessness about to ensue. But it says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Remember, I seen the Elder Yahshua. I'm gonna bring this out. When you go into the word wax cold, the Greek word is psycho. Psycho. Now, I didn't really got enough for the definition, right? But it says waning love. But a lot of people about to stop caring. And we ain't talking about the white woman, the Edomite woman. But a lot of people about to stop caring. Let's get this real quick. Let's show this video. So again, it says progressive.
Well, we live in a psychopathic world.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the dude, man, that you showed. Shooting at random cars.
Mm-hmm.
The psychopath.
Yep. And the thing is, this not the only, don't think Boston the only place. This happening everywhere. I seen somebody in the comments saying for something else in Louisiana, they just passed a bill that 18 and older can start purchasing guns, whether they have a license or something or not. Let me see, 18. Let me see.
Yeah, Philly is a goddamn. I don't know what to say about Philadelphia.
Check this out. Here it is. Conceal. Salak, you was finished talking?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Salak, it says effective July 4th, 2024, Louisiana will allow any person 18 or older who is eligible to possess firearms under state and federal law to carry a firearm concealed on his hip or her persons without a permit. So, and look, Jake, people already got weapons, and man, that's giving them a reason. But I seen somebody in the comment section when I seen this article. It says, if y'all want us to start a purge, just say that. Well, what? That's the point. Prophecy said it first. The prophet said it. That's what's gonna happen, man. But Esau put into their minds that it's the spirit that's being put on these people first. Look, they just dropped the Civil War movie. They're putting out movies like The Purge. Oh, what's another thing that's in the news? They talking about Trump guilty, right? Trump supporters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They will.
And I say this while you're looking that up. Whether you love Trump or hate him, you got to understand what's going on. All right. Presidents are being set. All right. So this is a former president being unjustly, and I ain't saying that he's squeaky clean, but the shit, they don't even have a charge for him. He's guilty, but you have, well, what did he do? They don't have a clue. And I'm saying that to say, here's a president getting unjustly persecuted and convicted. What do you think they'll do to your Joe six-pack ass? These are presidents being set. All right? And you figure, yeah, that's good for Trump. No, they setting this up for your ass. Mm-hmm. This ain't about Trump. You think Trump gonna see any time in a jail cell? You crazy. No, they making it, they setting this up for Jacob's trouble. All right. You got it, brother.
Con, I read this real quick. This is from May 31st, 2024.
Oh, I'll say this before you go into that real quick. When they went to Mar-a-Lago, that was supposed to have been a hit job. They went in there to murk. They went to murk Trump. If he'd have been there, yeah, he'd have got popped. Now, this was reported on Fox. So yeah, we way past lawless. Go ahead, Doc. And the real criminals, ain't nothing happening to the real criminals. You ain't hear shit about Hunter Biden. You ain't hear shit about none of this shit that's really behind the scenes the problem.
Right. What happened to
I say behind the scenes because it ain't being brought to the forefront. But anyway, brother, go ahead. What you had?
Now I said, hey, even that. What happened to the Epstein list? What was up with that situation?
Yeah, you ain't heard nothing about it. With the list.
Mm-hmm.
Gone.
Yep. But this was put out 6 days ago from Reuters. It says Trump supporters call for riots and violent retribution after verdict. So in other words, they're saying, look, if this man really get arrested, then it's going to be worse than the day after January 5th. You got to watch your words. But it says it's going to be worse than that. So that's adding on to the spirit of what the Lord going with this. Now, play a quick video. So this, and again, just adding on to that spirit of lawlessness. People don't care. It's time to, and we not preaching this, but it's the time to where these people about to rise up against the government, man. We not advocating for rising up. That's not a part of our message, but we saying it's gonna happen. We're not telling people go out there and do it, right? But as you see right here, this is from ABC News. It says father of 4 killed after man randomly shoots at passing cars in Southern California. Now check this out. 6:30 in the morning. It says the incident occurred Monday on State Street in San Jacinto, Southern California, during the early morning hours at approximately 6:30 a.m. Chaos erupted when authorities received reports of a man later identified as Julio Cesar Redarte randomly firing shots at passing cars, and surveillance footage obtained by Eyewitness News captured the horrifying moments when Rodarte, armed with a semi-automatic weapon, unleashed a barrage of bullets onto a busy street. And in the video, Rodarte can be seen firing off an entire magazine and discarding it and reloading it with chilling ease. So again, we in them times now, they say he was 39 years old. This is the picture of him. He got arrested. He was booked on 1 count of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder. Now this him right here, Julio. And again, Elder Tazapah, you said it before the lesson. Was he one of those immigrants? Because this could be one of the angles Esau used. That a lot of these shootings that may happen and things that may happen, they may blame it on the immigrants, as they would call them. But here's the video of him. Check it out. There you go. Damn, he just tossed it. And you could tell he just ain't no random bug out or bum. You can tell he got some type of gun control and experience, just by the way he holding it, by the way he let the clip go and reload it.
It'll be MK Ultra.
Mm-hmm. Man, imagine just passing. But yeah, we see again people going psycho. Now, this is another thing that just happened a couple of days ago. An Ohio woman, this from End Time Headlines. An Ohio woman stabs a 3-year-old to death outside of a grocery store in entirely a random act of violence. It says police said a woman with no prior history of violent crime stabbed and killed a 3-year-old boy outside of a grocery store in Ohio. North Olmsted police said that the attack on Monday afternoon was unprovoked and random. But no, the Lord put it in their spirits. The brother BA posted the precept earlier. How it be spirits created for vengeance. Sirach 39 and 28, because these spirits just ain't gonna be in animals. The Lord gonna put these spirits in people. Sirach 39 and 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, that's the point, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, that's the point. And in the time of destruction, they pour out their force. It's a certain time the Lord gonna activate that spirit. It's in these people, but it's a time you're gonna activate it. And when of times the Lord about to activate it, whether it be by the juice or as the elder said, the MK Ultra or the 5G radiation they go turn up, who knows? But it says in a time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. I read this too. Fire and hell, famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yep.
And you see that the comments from Shatandria Payne say she worked with Homeland Security. And she says she's a targeted individual. You know? So it's just another testimony to add to what we were saying. Now, I don't know how true it is, but I don't guess she has a reason to make that up.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know it's happening. You got it, brother.
We can move on. We'll wind it down here in a few. Another thing that's been in the news, leaning towards the CBDC coming, a digital infrastructure being set up. It says Wells Fargo, Chase, and Bank of America among 79 U.S. banks that have shut down branches in just over a month. So that's something that's happening. And on a bigger scale outside of America, this from RT News put out yesterday. It says Dmitry Trinin says Europe will eventually, the EU, which is a part of the beast, it says Europe will eventually have to choose between the US and BRICS. And why this big? Because a part of prophecy, America, allies, was going to separate from them. And also a part of prophecy, Russia and the nations that was going to gather behind Russia was going to have other nations gather behind them. So even America allies, BRICS, people are part of the beast, which this also the ones who are Revelation 17 has prophesied that they're going to shoot missiles on America, take part in it. Now, the article you sent me earlier, the Tazapah, now this came out as well a couple of days ago. So we see the size, I guess, the people choosing, because the question is, Europe will eventually have to choose between the US and BRICS, which one is going to be. Well, also a couple of days ago, it says 90, and it's from watcherguru.com, put out June 3rd, 2024. 97 countries prepare to attend BRICS 2024 in June in Russia. In Russia. If you want to speak on it, other times probably you got it.
Yeah, this is I'm looking for something right quick. There's a guy, or at least a channel on YouTube, David Lin, and that's David DAVIDLIN, and you can go there. It's a video titled "U.S. Escalates Nuclear Risk. World Stands on Edge of Destruction." And it's an hour long, but he mentioned how it was two things that I want to bring up out of what he said. And one was, he said people in Europe are already saying that we're in the third woke. All right. And we know America is behind the curve on everything. So he said people in Europe is like, yeah, we're in the third woke, if y'all know what that means. And he said that now BRICS is larger than the G7. So yeah, they going to war. They going to war. Another thing I got to mention is that how is it? See if you can see about NATO preparing to send troops or American troops into Ukraine to fight Russia. NATO is getting ready to put a ground force against Russia. And I know people that have relatives that right now being deployed to Guam. Like immediate, not, okay, next week. No, like they got a day or two to get ready to go to Guam.
It just
And
came
that's
out.
behind that whole Taiwan shit. Oh, what did it say? I read that,
Yeah,
the headline.
it
Oh,
just
it ain't
came
saying
out.
nothing.
Now it just came out like right before the lesson started. Cause now you was right though, because I seen the same stuff about America sending in ground troops, either America or somebody from the European Union. I mean somebody from NATO. But now it's saying today was put out June 6th NATO chief rules out sending troops to Ukraine, so they just backed out of it. And they say is Russia
And that
not
could be a cover. That could be a cover. Right? So I keep my eye on that because Esau say that, and then it'd be troops over there anyway.
Remember they were saying France had troops over there. Oh, thinking about it.
No, they was talking about sending them, but I don't think they did.
Okay, so they're sending a Mirage of fighter jets to Ukraine, but no ground troops yet.
But
again, there's something to watch for. That's why the Lord told us to watch. You know,
definitely
to watch. It's like a movie. You know, we're on the edge of our seat. What's gonna happen next? But
hey, that could be one of them. What you call it? One of them Nelson Aldrich deals. Where he said, you know, he wanted to usher in the Federal Reserve under his name, and Paul Warburg said, "No, we can't do that. The people gonna get wise. Let's call it the Federal Reserve Act." So they might have put their story out there and then said, "No, that's not wise. Let's just say, matter of fact, let's say we changed our mind on it."
All right.
And I'm not saying that's what happened. I don't know.
Never trust thy enemy.
What I do know is, you know, Most High, this could have happened. The Most High had them reneged because they, you know, the showdown is going down in the Middle East. So, you know, maybe the Most High had them reneged to prepare, you know, to go into that Middle East, to the Valley of Jehoshaphat or Yahweh-Shaphat, which is in the Middle East of Iraq, in that area.
And we can end it off on this. It's a lot of good stuff in this article. But I just read the first portion of it. Now, what it's going into, it says this from shtfplan.com. This was put out May 31st. It says the world has accumulated a 315 trillion mountain of debt, and global events will soon bring it crashing down. You know, and as you know, apostles, elders, and brothers been prophesying, you know, some type of black swan event or events gonna happen. Even the WEF said it's gonna be a year of poly crisis. Many things gonna happen at once. You know, and they give in this article, we're just gonna read the first one, but they give many scenarios. You know, like the first one, something happened to the system, and the first solution is the CBDC. You know, next is the situation in Ukraine. You know, also the situation in Israel. Then they speak about diseases that's gonna come, that's gonna kill a lot of people. And next they talked about what? Weather patterns that can bring forth a new society and destroy this one. So it's many different events, and you know what? There was like a various topics, but all those events, you know, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we kind of touched on the many things that could take place. In his last article, and I'm gonna post this in the chat, so check it out. It's a good article, and this dude go into it. Now I read the first one. You got some advertising pop before hop into it?
Oh no, you good. You good to go.
So it says, I suppose that the congratulations are in order. It is no small feat to pile up a debt of 315 trillion, and we will never see a mountain of debt of this magnitude ever again after it's coming crashing down. Even though delinquency rates are rising all over the world, as long as conditions remain at least somewhat relatively stable, the game will be able to continue. Unfortunately, conditions won't be relatively stable for long. Global events have started to accelerate, that's prophecy, accelerate significantly, and that is really going to shake up things in the months ahead. And again, this is a great article. You see, many things are scenarios that could take place, but the beauty of it, we know according to prophecy, the Lord gonna shake it up a little more because it's things that people may consider and things that's gonna blow people's mind at new things, like Sirach 36 say, new things, man, new works. Now it says, according to a report that was just released by the Institute of International Finance, the total amount of debt in the world has reached a grand total of $315 trillion. Now it says, I jump down. We are in the midst of a global debt binge in the history of, it's like we are in the midst of the greatest global debt binge in the history of the world. Household debt is at a level we have never seen before. Business debt is at a level we have never seen before, and government debt is at a level we never seen before. And this is the solution. For the moment, conditions are at least somewhat relatively stable and seems fine. For example, it says, but it won't take much, until I'm kind of rushing. It says, but it won't take much to push it over the ledge. For example, now he about to go into the first scenario, and we're just gonna hit this first one. For example, during a recent interview with Greg Hunter, Chris Mortensen suggested that a Chinese invasion of Taiwan could trigger a sudden meltdown of the bond market. And that's another thing that's going on. That's hot. China ready to send troops over there. And if America get into it, then who knows where did I go from there. It says, in a new market meltdown, Dr. Mortensen sees chaos and gives a hypothetical example. China attacks Taiwan, and there is a 10 sigma move in the bond market. It says these people are supposed to be winners, and these people are supposed to be losers. It says, no, they don't have any money for that stuff. It's too complicated. I don't think anybody understands how this works anymore. I could not find anyone who could tell me the whole thing. I could find people who knew bits and pieces, but they knew their slice. I am trying to stitch this thing all together, and I get uncomfortable when the most basic questions, and that is how much risk is there in the system and where is it? That's what he said. In short, Dr. Mortensen worried about the whole financial system going down. And he says, yes, I am worried about the whole system going down, and that leads to all sort of speculation. Imagine this, we wake up one day and the markets are not open on Monday, and a glitch and a problem, then it's 2 days and it's not open, then 3 days and it's not open. Then people get worried. Then Friday, and he always said if it would happen, it would be on a Friday to give them that weekend. And it says in the it says, and people are worried, and Friday the markets are still not open, and then Monday comes, and then they say it's a super big problem, and we don't know how to resolve it, and they offer you, now this is just a hypothetical situation, and they offer you 100% value today in a central bank digital currency account, or you can wait it out and hope it gets resolved, and that might take a decade or so, but he goes through some scenarios, and again, the scenarios roll right into prophecy. It will make sense if it was to happen, but even if it don't, these things are written in prophecy, whether this going to be the event or some other event take place and it's going to happen. But these are things to look for, that's pretty much it. I had a precept that 2nd Ezra 15 about people losing patience and kind of rioting. But if you got something, you got to advertise it, Paul.
No, brother, we can close it if you good.
All right, I'll read it. We can go out on the precept. So the 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 17 in the GNT. Let's start at 14. 2nd Ezra 15 and 14 in the GNT. It says, the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. That's World War III. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. there will be great political turmoil. Hey, you seen the example of that. 97 countries prepared to attend BRICS. You know, they beefing, right? It says there will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government, what was already set in place. They don't count them. It says there will no longer be free access to the cities because the struggle for power, which that's them concentration camps, lockdowns, because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. This is why it says driven by famine and terrible suffering. So because of famine and when times get hard, it says people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. So that's why we're about to, for example, we seeing these events that purge spirit being put out there.
Yeah.
You know, Gerald Smith, they said when people have nothing else to lose, they lose it. 2 Ezra 5 say the same thing. Once truth taken and everything else taken away from these people, they're going to hope and nothing go obtained. Then what? It says unrighteousness and incontinency go increase. That's a lack of self-control. So we definitely in those times, but you got it, Zaquan.
No, I ain't had nothing out. Yeah, I ain't got nothing. You take us out if you want.
Well, yeah, we'll end it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, check out this article, the one I just put in the chat. You know, all the articles, but the one I just put in the chat, that's a good read. A couple of things that could happen. But we'll end it right there. Again, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory once again unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you walking out there who pushing his word with truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel and keep fighting and keep pushing, and we're almost out of here. You know, and with that, shalom.
Shabbat shalom.